My name is Jamil Bishun Joning. My metric number is 9709011260390001. I am taking HBET3403 listening and speaking in ESL this semester. The purpose of my video presentation is to present a topic entitled Ways to Attract People to Listen to Your Presentation. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing? I hope you are in the pink of condition. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how to attract people to listen to your presentation? Well, in this presentation, I will share some ways to attract people to listen to your presentation. Presentation can be really good or really bad. Even average presentations with well-executed ideas can be terrible. One reason is that they are boring. Boring presentations are damaging to a person's reputation and can cause people in the audience to fall asleep or check their phones. However, even bad presentations can be good if they are interesting enough. To present a quality show, it is important to prepare by practicing and structuring your presentation effectively. In my research on the way to attract people to listen to your presentation, I found that there are 10 ways to do it. Namely, start off with something shocking. The second is tell a story. The third is go off script. The fourth is use emotional inflections in your voice. The fifth is use the power of louds and soft. The sixth is alternate your pacing and body language. The seventh is call out individuals in the audience. The eighth is set up some jokes. The ninth is maintain eye contact with all sections of the audience. And lastly, never read the slide. Now, we will look at these ways to attract listeners to listen to your presentation one by one. Are you ready? Let's begin. First and foremost, start off with something shocking. What does it mean? Well, introductions that cover the entire topic are less appealing than ones that tease the end result. You can use this approach to start with a general statement about the idea you're going to present. For example, if you plan on presenting a vision of how your company can change how people interact with each other, you can use this as an opening statement. Start by grabbing attention with an uncommon topic. People will be curious to learn how you came up with the idea. You can also use facts and statistics to create a similar effect. The second way is tell a story. Humans take naturally to stories. Stories are more easily understood by the public than factual data. They are an evolutionary adaptations that allows us to pass on our experiences and learn from each other. Any information you can turn into a story format is easier to understand and relate to. Use invented and real examples to support your arguments, as well as to use metaphors and stories to draw people into your argument. People are more likely to listen to you if you incorporate multiple narratives in your presentation. The third way is go off script. It is a great idea to practice your presentation multiple times before presenting in front of the audience. This will allow you to fix any kinks in your presentation that may arise during the actual presentation. While on stage, you should completely ditch any cue cards or notes. Once you are so familiar with your topic and so absorbed in your delivery that you can talk about it naturally in your speech, then you are ready to present. Because lines that you have practiced will be distinguishable from each line due to veering off course. The fourth way is use emotional inflections in your voice. A strong voice can be defined as one that projects easily and clearly from your vocal cords. Additionally, it is imperative that you speak in a way that elicits the right emotional responses from your audience. You do this by using inflections in your voice when speaking. Inflections change the tone of your voice and add depth to the way you communicate with each other. To truly capture your audience, you should use emotional inflections in your voice when presenting. Just as a picture can say 1,000 words, the intonations of your voice can bring an extra level of emotion to your words. For example, when talking about a sad topic, you can use a low pitch and slow tempo, while emphasizing exciting news with a faster tempo and higher pitch. Incorporating this strategy into your presentation can help you to connect with your audience and make your message more memorable. The fifth way is use the power of loud and soft. If you need to give someone important information, it is best to speak slowly. People already know most of what you are saying, so use quick statements to deliver background information. Then, allow yourself more time to deliver the key message when necessary. Also, use the power of silence to your advantage. Don't get stuck in a predictable pattern with no options. Use soft and high to draw attention to the differences between your pages. Get loud when you need to make a point that needs extra emphasis, and gradually lower your volume when you want your audience to focus on something else. The sixth way is alternate your pacing and body language. It is important to change the speed of your speech periodically. People understand background information that is not new, so use short sentences when talking about the information. But be sure to use longer and more in-depth sentences when discussing material that is new to the audience. Finish each sentence with a silent pause for emphasis, but don't become predictable in your speech pattern. Also, it is beneficial to forget body language when presenting to the audience. The way you hold yourself while speaking affects how people perceive you. Slouched shoulders convey disinterest in what you are saying, while standing straight up exudes confidence in yourself and your words. Also, avoid fidgeting when speaking to the audience. This shows that you are nervous about what you are saying, which will leave those around you feeling uneasy and distracted as well. Instead, stand still and focus on projecting a confident image when addressing the public through speeches. The seventh way is call out individuals in the audience. To give a presentation, you must be able to engage your audience in an unpredictable way. You cannot know what their motivation will be until the day of your presentation. Take any initiative you can to involve people in your presentation by having them demonstrate on stage or even just directing attention to them. For example, when making a point, simply point at someone. When you call out individuals in the audience during a presentation, you gain control of the situation. As the presenter, you have the power to make your message relevant to the people in your audience. You can also control how much time you spend on each individual, ensuring that only those who need it receive your instructions. Call out individuals in this way help you maintain control of the situation so that you can present your thoughts effectively. After addressing concerns from the individuals in the audience, it is important for a presenter to call out specific areas where your audiences may need help understanding your speeches. Doing so shows the audience that they understand your speeches well enough to get questions about them. However, some people in the audience may not be as confident as their knowledge of the subject as they seem. By calling out individual members of the audience during a presentation, presenter can focus on improving their speeches and making them accessible for all audience. The eighth way is set up some jokes. In any presentation, you must provide humor so people don't get bored. Although serious topics need to be handled correctly, it's still your job to find humor in every presentation. Your audience will remain focused on you if they can laugh or even smile. Your jokes should be appropriate, but don't worry about offending anyone. Subversive humor is usually well received by the public. Presentations that include humor and natural charisma greatly improve the overall quality of your speech. Good speakers use their language, skills, and intelligence to build rapport with their audience. This allows them to successfully change the audience's perspective about their subject. Some great examples of this are when President Obama says Iron Man was constructed by the government in his speech about government buildings. Morgan Spurlock allowed people to purchase the rights to name his TED talk during his talk, in which he talks about buying naming rights. In a twist at the end of his talk, he reveals that it is titled I Adopted a Pet Rock. By incorporating humorous anecdotes throughout his talk, he illustrates that the gravity of his argument. Finding a way to incorporate humor into your presentations will help your audience retain information and remain interested in your presentation. The ninth way is maintain eye contact with all sections of the audience. Presenting effectively and becoming personally connected to your audience hinges on making appropriate eye contact. Avoiding this vital skill will make the speaker seem nervous and unconvincing. Instead, focus on engaging your audience with powerful techniques like making eye contact. It is important to make eye contact with the whole audience to deliver successful presentation. Be careful not to only make eye contact with certain people you know. Instead, try to make eye contact with everyone in the audience. Make sure to involve the whole audience when making your presentations so that you can effectively share what you have to say. Maintaining eye contact can be hard for people nervous about something. Try to remember that some eye contact is better than none, especially if you are nervous, and that building confidence every time is recommended. Last but not least, never read the slide. Reading from the slide directly during your presentations is a faux pas. Your audience can easily view the slides themselves. Additionally, you should not include a slideshow in your presentation unless it is the last thing you do. If you present your material with slides that do not contain any original material, it destroys the intelligence of your audience and makes your presentation completely boring. Instead, come up with unique slides that your audience can understand on their own. Although some believe that reading from a slide during a presentation distracts the audience, this has not been proven by research. Most likely, the opposite occurs. Visual aids help the audience absorb information better and reduce confusion. Furthermore, it is good practice to speak fluently without reading from a slide when performing in front of live audiences. However, there are exceptions. If you are new to presenting material orally or are facing an especially difficult subject, it is best to stick with slides when properly preparing for such occasion. As a conclusion, there are 10 ways to attract people to listen to your presentation. Namely, start off with something shocking, tell a story, go off script, use emotional inflections in your voice, use the power of loud and soft, alternate your pacing and body language, call out individuals in the audience, set up some jokes, maintain eye contact with all sections of the audience, and lastly, never read the slide. Thank you.